Well, go and welcome back to another episode of the ZOZA Sportscast. And today I'm alone, but I have a guest for you. I'm Johnny Tombogwa. Chismo Arkirago is a bit sick, so he won't be around for this episode. And I'm joined by a very, very nice guest, very chilled guest. He's been doing kind of all the sports that I know of. From track, football, to swimming and b-ball. But he ended up pursuing b-ball more. Well, God, my G.
How are you, man?
You're good?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Marcel Awori. You go by the name Marcel Awori?
Yeah, Marcel, mainly.
You prefer Marcel?
Yeah.
The last time I had Marcel he was an actor in Originals.
You know, I've heard that, but I don't watch many shows or many movies. So people will reference it, I'll be like, yeah, okay. The only Marcel that I know, Marcel Desailly. Chelsea.
You're, first of all, let's start. Welcome to ZOZA. We do local sports from basketball, which we started this year. And last year we focused on the CHAN that we did, AFCON, mainly football. But this year we gave ourselves a challenge. We wanted to do basketball too. And here we are, finally.
Yeah. Basketball is the space to do stuff right now. There's a lot of attention, a lot of hype around the basketball space, a lot of potential. Mm-hmm. And so getting into it early, getting the stories behind everything that's being built is important. So big up to you guys for...
Oh, you're African champions. You're TikTok African champions for sports. That's why we wanted to cover basketball this year. Since now you guys qualified for the BUILD, we can do some partnership over there, hopefully, so that we can retain the award.
Fingers crossed. Come, man. End of the month, traveling to BL for the second time. My first time going to South Africa for a competition. The finals were there last year, but it's always a good vibe. Mm-hmm. Come to Pretoria, then when we qualify for Rwanda, come to Rwanda. Yeah. It's a good time.
So where did you start? Let's just begin from way back in your childhood. Since I saw from some few episodes that you were interviewed, you were born into a sports family, from your folks to your sister doing swimming. So where did you literally start?
Well, I'm a Kenyan, half Kenyan, half English, but I only really claim the Kenyan side. I was born here. Mm-hmm. When I was very young, moved to Dubai because of my dad's work and spent about 6 years in Dubai, then moved to Tanzania for about 4 years, then Kenya, then the US. But yeah, I was born into a very sporty family. Mm-hmm. My dad was a national record holder and swimmer for Kenya.
So is the Kenyan one or it's your mom?
Everyone always asks. Both of them are half Kenyan.
Okay.
So, but again, both of them are half Kenyan, but both of them consider themselves Kenyans, right? And that's kind of where we consider home. But yeah, my dad, very successful swimmer. Then my sister swam for Kenya, national record holder for Kenya, went to the Commonwealth Games. Mm. But even before that, my great uncle, so I'm from Busia, so I'm from right by the border. So part of my family is also Ugandan. So my late Uncle Agri ran at the Olympics for Uganda. Mm-hmm. My grandfather was also a runner. And so sports have been a part of my life forever. I swam somewhat against my will growing up. I think my dad being a very good swimmer, my sister being a good swimmer, I was told you have to swim too.
But it wasn't in your interest?
I'm a very social guy, to be honest with you. And the fact of the matter of it is swimming is like one of the least social sports that there is. Yeah. You can't talk to anyone.
Yeah. Just come swim, then go home.
Yeah. And you're just in your thoughts.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of respect for swimmers because the mental strain that it has is...
It's mad.
Yeah. And that was not for me. I always wanted to be on the football pitch. I ran track a little bit too, but growing up, I played every single sport you could think of because I was blessed to be quite naturally athletic, and that allowed me to pick up sports quite easily. I was able to say, okay, I want to play rugby because I was fast. I could play for a little bit. I want to play volleyball because I can jump relatively high. I played a little bit. So again, when you're getting when you're young, it's pretty easy to get into sports, but getting to the next level, that's of course then when you need to figure out what are you the most skilled at. So I tried a lot of sports, which was a good thing and a bad thing. Depends who you ask.
But when you're young, I was hearing the time you're in Dubai, there were some academies that were coming to Dubai. Then that was the time that you were leaving Dubai.
Brutal, man.
So are you, maybe on the flip side, maybe hypothetically, if you were to stay for more than 2 years in Dubai, you could have excelled in football?
I'll always believe it. I'm one of those guys that says if it wasn't for my knee, I'd have been in the Prem. But look,
okay, at that time you weren't
injured of course, I was young.
Yeah.
So when I left Dubai, like you said, the Arsenal academies were coming, the Barcelona academies, and like that's the exposure to the level of coaching that you need to be exposed to. I was 6-7 years old when I was leaving. And so I remember just being so angry at my family, being like, why are you guys taking me? I could have gone.
The next Yamal.
One of my closest friends growing up with, who now also no longer plays football, but is a very successful singer, was raised in Dubai and stayed in Dubai. And so I'd be going back to see him, and he'd be in all his Barcelona training gear, and I'd just be like, man.
That could have been me.
Just in TZ playing for my elementary school. If you want to play for a club, even that was outside of my comfort zone, because I didn't necessarily know the lay of the land in Tanzania like that. So I'd like to believe I could have gone further in football, but I managed to achieve some of the goals that I had nonetheless, because my family was always very supportive of me with sports.
So you went to TZ. Were you relatable to maybe the Tanzanian football side of it, the Simba, the Yanga, or you switched to football or basketball or any other sport?
The thing is, I always loved football, but when I was moving to Tanzania, I was not, I didn't have the knowledge to know what I needed to do outside of just playing at school or playing on the school team. So I never actually played for an academy and didn't spend much time watching the local league. It wasn't as developed then as it maybe has gotten in the last few years. So I didn't know that much. So I kind of just played school football, to be honest, and managed to develop like that. Lunchtime, at break, I would be playing. PE, any opportunity I had to play, I would be on the pitch playing. But I also had swimming training. So you see, that was the part where I didn't have maybe the opportunity to play in clubs, because 6 a.m. I'd have swimming training, 4 p.m. swimming training. By the time I had football some days, and that's when I would skip, but I would always have swimming that was involved.
So your folks you have to be a professional swimmer?
Pretty much, till I really fought back. And I do believe that I could have gone quite far in swimming. I wasn't a bad swimmer, but I never took training seriously. It's like track. If you don't put in the work,
it won't happen.
Any sport, but I think more so in those marginal sports where it's like
you have to
you're
put
1 second faster, half a second faster. If you're not training week in, week out, especially when it's multiple times a day, you're not gonna cut it. And I was also now looking at my sister, who was getting called up to swim for Kenya, traveling to South Africa to go swim, coming back to Kenya to swim, and I'd tag along sometimes. So my life was just at a pool. Sometimes I'd just take a football, be kicking it against a wall. Then there was the times that I started to compete more, but yeah, definitely football was what my parents wanted me to. I mean, swimming was what my family wanted me to really pursue.
So when you relocated to USA, that's when you opted to do football as a professional sport?
Somewhat. So it's when I moved back to Kenya that I continued swimming for about 2 years after I moved back, and then I said, enough is enough.
Yeah.
Football is my thing. I'm not playing. I'm not swimming anymore. I want to play football and I want to run track. I want to just do things on land. I don't want to be in water anymore.
Yeah. So b-ball wasn't in the picture at this time.
No.
So it was only football and maybe track.
Football, track, volleyball. Those were kind of what was in the picture for me. And then as I got now in 8th grade, so when I was about 14, 15, I had a really steep growth spurt when I was about 13, 14. I was 5'4" at the beginning of summer. At the end of summer, I was 6 feet. So I just grew. Now that made people pay attention to me on a basketball side. I said, Marcel, you have to play basketball. I was a very tall 15-year-old, get involved. Then I started playing, and I can't lie, I fell in love with basketball. Like I was every day at home. It changed from having a football and going into the garden and practicing to now, Mom, Dad, can you get me a hoop so I can take some shots at home, stay at school later to be taking shots. And so it was at that point that I really started playing football and basketball a lot more. And that's when I started to get involved with the local scene of basketball, which again, at that point, that's 10 plus years ago now, it was a thing of...
That was the time you were going to Kayole to play basketball.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's where I started.
How was the experience by there? Because, bro, that's deep in Eastlands.
Yeah.
Have you ever, do you listen to Kenyan music? Have you ever heard of someone called Toxic?
No.
Calligraph Jones?
Yeah.
So Calligraph Jones is from there.
You know, I've been told the stories of how stuff can go down in those places and whatnot. So yeah, I was thrown into the deep end. Kabisa. What? That I went, and it was my first time because I'll be honest, I was relatively sheltered growing up because I was moving around. I was in the international schools.
Yeah.
So a lot of my friends were expatriates, like guys that were not assimilating with the local culture much at all.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even a choice that I had to make, but it's just the people that I was around, especially people that are not from the country. They don't even have an entry point.
Yeah.
But then I started playing basketball, and then boom. I remember the one time I entered, I don't even know, I think it...
How did you go there? Or who?
My family would take me. You know, so my mom was brought up in Karatina. My dad was brought up very similarly to me, moving around different places. My mom just said, we go. My mom was not...
So she like dropped you at
No, they didn't drop me. They came with me because they also wanted to come watch. Like the team that I was playing with, like a lot of the parents were sponsors of the team. So it would be like I would play, and then in order for the rest of the guys to play, they would have like, we'd sponsor maybe 2 or 3 other boys to make sure they could travel to the games, to make sure that guys had food, water, shoes, etc. So when we'd go to play, they would also come to the games. So there was the first time, I think it was in Mathare. We went, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. I go to the court. The court ends here, and here is a river. If you airball, that ball's gone. Like the game is going to hold for the next, I don't even know how long, 10 minutes. Someone's going to run with a stick. Now
get the ball,
push the ball, bring it, wipe it, then play. You continue playing. Maybe they had 2. So while that was happening, you can continue playing. And man, that was like a serious reality check for like what
it
a day-to-day life would look like and looks like for a lot of Kenyans. And it was a perspective I needed to have because I was an extremely ignorant kid at that point, not by my own choice, but just through the experiences that I had had. So, and that's what I love about sports, to be honest. Like it taught me a lesson very early on. Like I went, but
no one treated you like...
I wasn't treated anyhow. I didn't view anyone there anyhow. Like we were just there to play basketball, a bunch of kids playing basketball. Yes, it was an environment that I was not used to and that I had not been in before, but that didn't change what I was there to do and why I was there. I wanted to be there. And so it really changed my perspective. 1, the power of sports, but 2, the reality that a lot of people have in the country and on the continent. So
have you ever gone there maybe on your free time?
I go to not that specific place. Hey, that place was deep, I'll be honest. I don't even know if I could navigate my way into it. But I go to Kayole often. Like, because now I have a non-profit that I've been running for a few years. So I host, again, like, I have a community there of people that I've known for a very long time now that are like good friends of mine. And so I started my non-profit sponsoring the same team that got me into those ends to begin with and into those leagues and gave me those opportunities. And so I now go back to Kayole, Komarok, Mathare, etc. When I have events, I won't just go there to chill, to be honest, but I go back often. Like I know my way around those areas pretty well.
Can you name?
Well, once I know Komarok. much better than anywhere because I'd go there often. And then obviously Street League plays there. Then there's the Diwopa Church that's relatively nearby that I'd go to. So I know that specific that route to
can you name
the area.
Can you name a place in Kayole that you know? Just guess any place.
I can tell if you showed me a picture, I could tell you where relatively it might be. But I don't know places. I'll be honest. I don't know places by name.
That's mad.
To
crazy.
say I know this place specifically.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
So for how long were you going there, or was it just during the holidays?
No, it was often during the school year because we were playing in the league, so it could be like every week, every 2 weeks. But that was for about a year before I moved to the US. So I decided that I wanted to go to the US to get opportunities. My goal was to play Division 1, anything that I was skilled enough to play. And so I decided I was going to move to the US. And then I stopped playing basketball because the reality was 1.5 years of basketball. And I'm one of the taller guys on my team at that point, at least in high school especially. I did not have the skill whatsoever to compete with guys in the US.
You opted to go for the Division 1 in football?
Yeah, focusing on football and track. Track is what I always say I think I was much more talented at. But again, it's similar to swimming. Track is not that social of a sport.
Yeah, it's like more
there's a social aspect to an extent, but it's not. It's an individual sport, right? So I wanted to focus on football and get in for a team sport, but I was open to either. And I look back at did I make the right choice?
I've seen your clips. You're playing at the right back.
Yeah.
Was it your did you start at right back? I'm a midfielder, or you started as a winger then?
No one starts as a right back.
So you started as a winger?
I started as a centre forward.
Then your legs started failing you.
I started as a centre forward. Then I was told maybe you just move to the wing. I had enough speed to play at the wing. Then it was like, you know what? Maybe just move back a bit. You can still run, but you don't have to take someone on every time you have the ball. To be honest, the progression kind of followed my growth, like literal height, because I was not the same player up top as when I was 5'5", when I was 6'3".
Yeah.
So I naturally moved backwards. I was a very tall fullback, but my speed is what kind of pushed me towards the wing because that was my biggest advantage against most people. Because I was quick, I had good stamina.
I've seen the clips.
So I was able to navigate. I played a very attacking brand of football. I ran way more than I needed to, but that was the only way that I felt I could be effective.
So did you have someone you're looking up to in the football side of it?
Well,
okay.
Not looking. I mean, my idol has always been Gerrard. Steven Gerrard.
So you're a Liverpool fan?
Yes.
I'm a Man United fan, so we can never be friends.
It's okay. You can want to be a success as us.
Just because of the last title that you lifted.
It is. You guys haven't lifted one of those important ones for a while now. And you guys were making fun of us the last few days, and then reality check yesterday.
I guess from yesterday's results, we are finishing top 3. I'm still confident we're finishing top 3.
You guys will finish top 4. Top 3, maybe not. But top 4, I believe you will. And you've had a good season. We've had a horrible season.
And Slaughterhouse.
No, I don't like saying that. It's bad to turn on guys after they win you a Premier League.
But he won you guys with Klopp's squad.
He did, and I don't know why he made that many changes. But it's also a process. He's brought in a lot of young guys. Things are going to need to change.
Were down as well.
Yeah, and way too much money on guys, in my opinion.
Because on my end, I felt like you couldn't have sold Luis Diaz.
In no way. They should never have sold Luis Diaz.
You left with Gakpo. Gakpo is
I don't
one-sided of
Gakpo
football.
Too much, but
cutting.
Yeah, and he's not that athletic of a winger.
Yeah.
Diaz.
He can never track
guys
back.
Now in Bundesliga. But I know Slot has that, some favoritism for the Dutch lads.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm always saying. I said, how is Ngomo not
starting?
Because that guy comes onto the pitch. That's now when I'm confident. He'll get at least one attempt on goal because you can't stop him. He's too quick, too shifty.
Actually, Gakpo, you guys was to score a goal, then Gakpo removed it. Did you see the game?
The Wolves game?
Yeah.
Was it Gakpo?
It was Gakpo. But
I saw that Kirkes was close, and then it hit the bar or something like that.
Before hitting the bar, it was Gakpo.
Disallowed.
No, Gakpo removed it actually. It was meant to be a goal.
Don't even. No, I'm not. You know,
but anyway, so you back to Division 1 football.
Yeah.
What made you stop playing professional football? Was it the injuries or the standard was too high for you?
Well, the jump in level from high school, I played very competitive high school football in the US. One guy that actually played in a similar league to me is Jack Harrison. He played in one of the rival schools, obviously well before me, but he played in that same system.
Is he still at Leeds? The last time I checked, he was at Leeds.
I think so. I think he's still playing at one of the top teams. Leeds, or I know he was at Everton.
Oh, yeah.
Either one. But I know that was one of the big names that came out. But he had come from the UK, spent time in a boarding school, played Division 1, and then went back after playing in the MLS. But to be honest, what made me stop is when I got recruited to play Division 1, it was by a specific coach. I always knew that I was a very specific taste of player. If you want to play tiki-taka with me, forget about it. I'll get tangled in my legs, man. That's not the brand of football. I'm an attacking fullback. It's like if you want...
Your technical abilities around...
Like it's okay.
Say 4 out of 10.
Maybe 5, 6, around there. It depends who you ask.
Yeah.
But what my strength is I could really attack well and I could put in a good ball.
The crosses, I've seen the crosses.
I could put in a good ball, find the attacker, score goals like that, and create chances.
Yeah.
Like I was going to create chances for you from fullback. Now, the coach that recruited me retired right before I joined the uni, and the coach that came in was a tiki-taka style of coach. And he had, it's very clear because he had come from another Division 1 program. If he had liked me, he would have recruited me.
Yeah.
So because they didn't recruit me, it was already pretty clear. I'm not his type of player. And so I kind of got in at a very tricky time with knowing that I kind of have to prove myself again. And then I was getting in and coming off of an injury. I was getting in while it was COVID. So right before I left for preseason, I got COVID and I ended up going to preseason 2 weeks late. So I'll be honest, that guy just didn't like me as soon as I arrived. It just didn't rate me. I was doing rehab the entire time. Then I got fit again. And then I was playing in COVID, and it just wasn't the type of football that I was enjoying. And I was studying biology, pre-med, during all of that. So juggling my studies and sports became very, very difficult, especially because I was always someone that was serious about my education, and my family forced me to be serious about my education as much as I was playing sports. So I couldn't sacrifice my grades, my performance in class. I had to still keep up. So that was hard. So I looked at it after a little while and I said, am I enjoying this? Is this what I want to do? And I looked 4 years down the line, said, I'm going to stop playing anyway and go and now get a profession. Yeah, so why sacrifice not only my social life, but also my education
for a short-term thing?
To have this feeling, pride, whatever. And then I can't lie, a big thing that was hard for me to digest was I had always been a guy that people knew that was involved with sports. It was a big part of my identity. And I was like, hey, okay, I stopped playing football. Who am I?
That's it.
You know what I mean? Like it was a difficult.
You don't have a life outside sports.
Yeah, and just people, not in an arrogant way, but you think of Marcel, you think of maybe track or football, maybe basketball.
Yeah.
Like my identity revolved around those aspects.
Yeah.
But it was a blessing that I had to make that choice, because then I was forced to think about how do I reinvent myself and what do I stand for? And I knew I love sports. So stepping away from sports, I was like, okay, how do I still remain involved in sports to some extent?
So that's where BUILD came into.
Exactly. So that's how BUILD came up. I realized I was lucky enough through Masayuji, who's with the Raptors, to get some time to meet people that are a part of that organization. And I met the head physiotherapist, someone called Alex McKechnie, who told me the acronym BUILD. And then I met someone else called John Wiggins, who told me, you just have to get started and do something. Because I said, I was just doing this thing of, I want to be involved in sports.
Yeah.
Someone asked me how, I said, I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to. But he just told me, do it now. Just do something now, and the rest will
So when did you start?
Polo. So I started BUILD, I think it was 2022. And so the first thing I did is I came back home.
Mm-hmm.
I'd been working in the US at my uni. I was like a receptionist.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get experience working. Growing up, I hadn't worked when
at
I was
any point
15,
in your
16,
life.
17. So I wanted to get that experience to earn my own money, know what it was like to get a paycheck, learn more of the value of money. And so I was taking that paycheck and using it. Now I came back home and I said, I'm going to give kits to the team that I was a part of when I played basketball in Kayole, Mathare, etc. Because they said they were still using the same kits at that point that I was using in 2016. So I was like,
that's almost 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years of kits. I said, well, then those kits are not like now they were not some gold standards of kits that they could last that long. They were holding on to them. I said, okay, look, how much is it going to be to make kits? They said 30,000, 35,000. I said, fine. The dollar stretches very far when you're in Kenya.
Yeah.
So I took a few of my paychecks, put them together, bought the kits, gave them to the team. And that was the first thing I did. And then that slowly now started to evolve. I knew BUILD, I liked the name BUILD, but I didn't think I was going to set up a whole NGO, et cetera. So I did that, and then I started to get now requests for other things that they needed support with. So it was like the team said, like, we're struggling to pay these league fees to play in the street league. Can you help us pay these fees? We want to play in this tournament. Can you support us to play in this tournament? I said, I can. Like, again, these things, like maybe 2,000 shillings, 3,000 shillings.
Yeah.
So it's $25 that I would need to give. So I said, yeah, okay. Then that slowly evolved, and I said, look, the financial empowerment that I can give to an organization or to kids that are talented to play sports and get opportunities through sports, the entry point is not that high.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to, I'd be spending $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 to be giving guys that kind of support. So why not empower them and try to do that? And so I figured out what I want BUILD to stand for is to empower local sporting organizations that are doing the right things, using sports for the right reasons, to do what they're doing. And not to say, you know what, we won't play in this tournament because we don't have the funding to play in it. I was like, no. Keep running things the way you're running them. If you need help playing in that tournament, I'll support that.
Yeah.
If you need shoes for a very talented player, he shouldn't not play a game because he can't buy shoes. We can find the support from people in and around the community or myself, my network, etc., to get these boys' shoes or these girls' shoes. You name it. And so I started doing that, and it started to develop. So
you're doing it remotely while you're still
I was doing it remotely, and then when I would come back,
I
would get involved and host. I started hosting tournaments down the line when I had been giving more support. Again, guys want to host a tournament. They reach out to me saying we need the financial help. So I give what I'm able to give, and then I pull in partners and donors where possible. And then, like, for me, it was always important. Sports had to be the convening factor.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I'm just sponsoring these teams to try and find the next Messi or LeBron. That'd be great. Obviously, it'd be good to find the next big talent. Yeah. But it was taking my experience of using sports to go to a school in the US, to then go play Division I, to get opportunities through that. How can I give the same access to kids here?
Yeah.
To say, okay, you're very talented at basketball. How can you now use that skill to get a high school scholarship?
Yeah.
And if you didn't get that scholarship, you might not have even gone. And then how can you use your sport to get a university scholarship? Or get a scholarship in the US, or get a scholarship in Europe.
So you're sending them to get, how are you coordinating this? Were you sending them to the trials, or you had scouts coming in Kenya?
So again, for me, it was always empowering guys that knew what needed to be done to get those opportunities. So the team that I was sponsoring here called FAM had a coordinator that had the network to the US with high schools and programs that wanted to bring kids in. And so he would handle all of that. And I would just be involved to know the processes, know what was happening, but he would coordinate everything. With the schools. Because the schools then would send some funds also to support the team, but then give all the paperwork, pay for the flights, etc. So we would just kind of nurture the talent here, and then when it gets to that point, the school supports and you get the kid to go to that specific school, and then they finish high school, and then they go to university, depending on the level that they play at. So that's kind of how that whole system would work. Pretty much.
So how did you come up to get into NCT?
Yeah, so...
Was it during that period that someone approached you, or just tell us the process of how you got yourself into searching for talent and everything that you do?
Yeah, so through BUILD is why I'm in the role that I'm in now with Thunder. It's as simple as that. So I started supporting a team that was in the street league. Once I started supporting that team, Fam Kenya, they were winning
everything.
Yeah, it was just, you name it. The street league, they're champions. This tournament, champions. No one could beat the team. Because I was empowering them to make sure the guys were training.
Yeah.
They were able to eat. That they were getting shoes, kits, going to see physios.
Everything.
Like, you name it. So that was happening. And then boom, one season comes around and there's this organization or team, Twende. And I'm just seeing these guys haven't lost a game. Then I'm told by the coordinator, hey, Marcel, we're playing Twende.
Yeah.
We need to ramp up, like, even the training program for these boys. I said, why? I thought no one can compete with us. Then I started wondering, what's Twende?
Yeah.
Who's behind it? Because I was seeing the kits they were wearing were dope. All the guys were kitted out with nice shoes, arm sleeves. What? I said, I need to figure out. Like, my team looked good. Like, the fam team was supported well, but again, I didn't have the deepest pockets.
Yeah, of course.
I was just still in uni. I had a paycheck that I was getting every week and sending back home. My pockets were not endless, or were at least not as deep in certain areas.
Yeah.
I wanted to find out who's running the organization, and so it was around that time that I got connected with Colin, who's one of the co-founders of Twende, the original founder. And he actually had a similar want. He was like, I want to connect with whoever is a part of the FAM organization. So he reached out to me. We met. I learned about what the vision was, the goals were. And this was, I think, about a year, around about a year to when I was graduating from university. And so he just reached out to me saying, like, let's chat, let's find out more, learn more. And then I went back to the US and we stayed connected. And so my first engagement with the organization was I had been getting good people in my network that had different companies and they had different production lines, you name it. And so I connected Twende with our now kit sponsor, Afrosport. And I got them to provide kits for the team because I asked Colin who...
Afrosport, is it based here or in US?
No, Afrosport is based in Norway. So it's a Norwegian-based company, but run by people from the Gambia. So I loved the name as soon as I found it out, but I was like, let me make that intro.
Yeah.
Because what Colin is trying to build, they should not be spending money on kits, especially if there's an upcoming brand that also wants to partner. And so just like that kind of evolved into the partnership that now exists, and that was my entry point. So then when I finished uni, I decided to, I graduated on a Monday. I left the US on a Thursday. I've not been back to the US since then. This was 2024. I packed up my stuff with the help of my family, straight back home, just to figure out. Okay. I didn't have a job lined up here. I didn't have anything. I knew I had BUILD. I knew I wanted to start my own companies, and I had that drive and be a part of building something. I wanted to create impact at home, as opposed to being a hamster in the wheel in a country that doesn't even claim
value
and that might kick me out.
Yeah.
Like I could be there and then be told, actually, no, you need to leave. Your visa's done. I didn't want that. And then I would spend all my time creating relationships there, and then I could lose them in a heartbeat, as opposed to I can come here. I'm Kenyan, so
and you're welcomed.
Here, I'm going to be here no matter what, unless I choose to leave.
Yeah.
So I moved back, and then as soon as I got back, I had another conversation with Colin, and I decided to get involved with the organization. And yeah, the rest is history, to be honest. It's like now I've blinked, and it's coming up to 2 years later. And I could not have been happier with that choice to come home, for one. But two, the timing is just... It's a serious blessing. Like it's God's plan to do it. The reason why I decided to take that leap of faith, quote unquote, coming home, but then also coming back at a time where something was being built that I could be a meaningful part of, and help grow.
So since you're the head of recruitment at NCT, yeah?
No, I'm chief of staff.
Chief of staff, but you're involved in the talent recruitment.
Not really. I'm lucky that I get to have involvement kind of across the board. But my main role is I oversee partnership development. So I'm not as involved like the basketball side of things. I'm a football guy. So basketball, I don't actually know that much to do with the technicalities of things. I understand the game. I've played the game. I know people that have played it high level. I understand it well. But if you're to tell me, do the eye test on these 14, 15-year-olds to say if they're going to be very talented or not, I wouldn't put money on myself to make an amazing decision there.
So you're more of the...
So the corporate
looking for partnerships.
Partnership development.
Sponsors.
Yeah, sponsorship management, investor relations. Kind of a little bit of everything. We're a small organization, not too many people. A huge impact, but a small team.
So for NCT, we were talking with Vince actually way back at Beer District. There was some launching that we were doing. Was it? I guess it was it was the jerseys or the sponsors. I can't remember quite well, but you were at Beer District.
The press conference.
The press conference. Yeah.
After Elite 16.
Yeah. So he was telling me about you guys have a holistic package for your players. There's insurance. There's even you're planning for life after basketball. Yeah. How do you guys go about it? And in Kenya, there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
Because on the football side of it, once you tear your ACL or your meniscus,
drop.
My G, you're gone.
Yeah, you're left to fend for yourself and figure it out. Yeah, I mean, for us, that's what Twende was set up to do, and the reason why we acquired Nairobi City Thunder was to revolutionize what it meant to be a professional basketball player, but a professional athlete. To say, yes, you're a player, but there's all of these other things that need to be taken care of to enable you to reach your full potential. So yeah, every player is on health insurance,
yes,
full salary and contract. We give them all the equipment they need, again through partners and sponsors, physiotherapists to deal with injuries. So if any player gets injured, we had one player recently, Garang, who broke his hand, and we put him through the entire rehab process, so he was back in the exact amount of time that it would have taken him to come back in any other system elsewhere in the world. And just ongoing support. We have an entire basketball operations team that makes sure that the players are taken care of, heard. You go to practice. Now we have a supplement partner through USN. We've had a long-time water partner with Amache. Now we're working with 10X Nutrition to give mandazi. So it's a little bit of everything. And then there are other sponsors that come on board that enable us to pay for things like health insurance. So the likes of Sendap, Mkopa, Nextwood University is another amazing partnership that we've brought on board to be able to empower our players on the education side. So we gave our players the opportunities to study for free in any area that they would want to that Nextwood offered. So we had a couple of players that were enrolled in an MBA program, a couple of players that are doing an AI course. Again, because we understand that life after basketball is going to have, you're going to have to do something.
So there are players who are still in school playing for NCT at the moment?
Don't know currently, but I know last season there were players that were doing it simultaneous, because it's on Nextwood University is an online university, so it's flexible learning. So they could do it in and around training, they could do it specific days, etc. So yeah, we want to empower our players to be able to have life after sport, and if players are interested on the coaching side, we can support them in that area. So that if they want to retire and then come into coaching, they have that natural progression as someone that's a part of the Thunder family, pretty much.
So do you have guys who have retired from NCT and you're still supporting them?
Well, there's one person, the most recent person that retired is James Mwangi, JMO. He is still a part of the family. He comes and he gets involved with some of the runs here and there, but he has an academy that he's launched. He is a businessman, though. That guy is a guy of biashara. He knew his plan from the time that he was going to go out of basketball, and he had things set up to sustain his lifestyle, support his family, etc. But for him, he's a part of the family. If there's ways that he wants to reintegrate into the organization, then we have those conversations. Again, with his academy, we've had discussions around, okay, how can we support some of the things that you're doing as well? But that's the only person so far that's retired since I joined, at least. It's not been too long.
And football, as we are about to wind up.
Yeah.
Last year, you quite managed to do your best, actually, because it was your first time. And it was our first time seeing a Kenyan team over there. So it was a huge, huge milestone. This year, you've qualified again for BAL. So what's the vision for this year? Since you've got some experience of it, you're not going as newbies, per se.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us? Maybe your vision for NCT, your strategy for this year? Because everyone is now watching you from diaspora. Now the Kenyan fans have multiplied. You can see it in your games. Everyone is now looking up to you. It's Nairobi City Thunder, Nairobi City Thunder.
Yeah. We want to make Kenya proud. And we'd be underselling ourselves if we weren't going to BAL to try and win it all. I've never been the type of athlete, and I know the rest of the organization, you're not going into a competition to do anything but win it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we're focused on, is to do that. And naturally, do better than how we did last year. Last year was our first time competing. I think you've summed it up well. We tried our best.
Yeah, you tried.
We were very unlucky.
Yeah.
I think our result and record sell us short for how competitive we were. Again, the teams in our conference, similar to this year, were the teams that finished as some of the top teams in BAL overall. But we're learning from the mistakes we made and doubling down on the things we know we did well before we go and travel. We've strengthened the team. We've spent a lot of time adding different routines and schedules into everything that the team is doing so that we can be in the best shape, form, fitness, etc. that we need to be in to compete at a very high level. So we're confident. I mean, BAL is a very competitive league.
Okal told us it was a crazy level.
Hey, bro, that one, like, even for me going to see it, you're like, now this is a serious brand of basketball.
Is it almost okay? NBA is quite higher.
NBA is even more ridiculous. Let me tell you, NBA guys. So no, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
It's like, you know, there's the G League in the NBA. So I think BAL is on par with the G League in a lot of ways.
Okay.
NBA, you know, NBA is top 500 guys on earth. That's its own beast. NBA guys are like robots. Tell someone from the NBA, shoot from here, whatever, it's just robotic. They don't even need to think about it. They jump out of the building, whatever. BAL has that type of talent, but the NBA is just that next step. The higher level you play at, the higher the jump is to the
So is it
above.
like, since you're familiar with football, is it like the championship?
Yeah, I would say champion, because if you hear guys talk about the jump from championship to prem, it's massive. So I would say it's pretty, Again, people are now, like, it's just because BAL is starting to, like, in the last few years has really started to pick up.
Yeah.
That guys have even said, they don't want to play in the G League.
They'll
come to play in BAL instead, because they just like the overall offering that's there. And you get taken care of when you're playing at the BAL level. And there's a reason why the NBA got involved on the continent, why the BAL started, like why that all exists is because there's huge talent on the continent. They just need the platform to compete at. And for us, I think people even sometimes, at least people even in my family, are surprised, like, basketball in Kenya? Really? But we have serious talent here. And like, Twende has been built, and Nairobi City Thunder is a very sustainable model. So we don't want to just go and spend heinous amounts on players to then go to BAL, and just because we've spent that amount, maybe certain players that are not even Kenyan are getting the chance to carry us. Our Kenyan core is phenomenal. The guys that have been playing basketball together for a long, long time. Like you spoke with Okal. Okal is a huge part of that Kenyan core.
Yeah.
But our Kenyan guys are seriously talented in the grand scheme of things, especially compared to other talent, basketball-wise, from the other countries. So, Yeah, BUILD is an exciting one. I'm excited to go.
With the recruitment that you have from, for example, I met Derek Ogechi.
Yeah.
Do you have any expectations from him, like when you guys talk?
For Dio?
Yeah.
Dio's a guy he's positive attitude, hard worker. So for him, these guys are all professionals.
Yeah.
They know what they need to do. A lot of them, it was their first time playing at BAL. So, you can sometimes be a bit like you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So for them, it's like you have to learn on the fly. Now they've learned, they've come back, they've gotten to develop and work here. There's no excuses that can be made there. And they know that. Derek didn't get the opportunity last year to compete, but Derek has played abroad. So he's kind of
experienced.
He has that experience to an extent. And a lot of the other guys, even the other Kenyan guys, have played abroad, but they know what they need to do. They know what the level is going to be like and how hard they're going to have to work. And the main thing is just a huge part of sports is mental. Like, you have the ability, but you have to believe you deserve to be on that stage.
Yeah.
And you have to take the opportunity when it comes to you, when you are on that stage. And you look at someone like Albert Odero, Kenya Airways.
Yeah.
He went to BAL, the guy just, I don't know what. He was meditating, but he was waiting for the opportunity.
Yeah.
And he completely showed he's on par with anyone on the continent in the world.
Okal was telling me that based on some contracts, you can be playing to a certain team, but when BAL tournament starts, you can come and play for NCT. Is it the same thing with Kenya Airways?
Yeah, so the thing with Albert is that's why he's been playing in Rwanda recently, is because once we qualify for BAL, it's then really just preparation during the next few months. But some guys like Albert decide that they want to go and play in a league that's maybe a bit more competitive, where they can be put on shorter term contracts, because we don't necessarily need Albert. We're still very dominant in the local league.
Yeah, unbeaten.
Like you bring Albert to play for us in the local league, it's almost like, why does he need? We don't need to be bolstering that, but he's a Kenyan player. 100% we need him a part of the BAL squad as a Kenyan, because there's also the BAL has an interesting format to do with like local Kenyans that must fill a certain quota, then international players that are African that fill a quota, and then there's non-African players that fill a quota as well. So you have to figure out how you build up your roster based off of those. So for us as a Kenyan team, Albert's a no-brainer coming in as a Kenyan to play for us. And so there is a lot of that happens. And a lot of guys kind of operate like that on a yearly basis. They might go to this league for 3 months, then come to BAL for 3 months, then after BAL they go to another league for 3 months. Then they go this place for however many, like it really varies depending on the talent and the player and what they want to do and how much of a home base they want to have, because it's not an easy lifestyle shifting and moving around to different places. But the younger you are, the easier it is, I think, when you don't have a family that keeps you grounded and whatnot.
That's correct. We were comparing it with football, because it's like I'm playing in Wolves, but come Champions League, I'm playing for Bayern Munich kind of type.
Yeah, when you talk about it with football, it sounds weird.
It's weird, of course. I was like, for Carl explaining it for us, since it was like our first time hearing it, I was like, that's crazy. Imagine if it could happen in football.
No, you see, but the thing with football is also so established. But in football, it couldn't. Like, I think the reality is like there's so many developing leagues and there's not the same overlap that exists. Like, think about Champions League and the amount of leagues that are involved in qualification for them. So it's very weird. And it took me a while, by the way, to understand the BAL format. Yeah. Like, when I first got involved with the organization, BAL I didn't understand how it all worked. It's one of, these players will be involved with this and then that, and this guy's here for this few months, then they'll go. But before we actually went into our first season, I got my head around it, because when you're involved with it, then you get all the information and you know all the rules. So then it becomes pretty second nature to understand this is allowed, this is not, this is how we're going to go about it, and this is why, etc., etc. But when you talk about it with football, it doesn't make any sense, I'll be honest.
You can look at that camera as that one. As we wind up, maybe anything you want to say to your NCT fans, maybe anything they should expect this season, and also this year for BAL.
Yeah.
I know you've said it a while back, but I wanted you just to end it.
Yeah, keep your eyes on Kenyan basketball. Keep your eyes on Nairobi City Thunder. We're going to BAL to compete to win it all.
Yeah.
Come to Pretoria, end of March. We're going to be there representing Kenya, representing the flag with an enormous amount of pride, followed by then going to the playoffs in Rwanda. So keep track, follow us on our socials, come to our games in the local league before then, and just stay tuned. It's an exciting space, and there's a lot that we have coming for you guys.
It's been a great honor to have you. How have you felt? How's the episode?
Good. I appreciate you having me, man. It's good. It's fun talking about it. You know, it puts into perspective the journey.
Yeah, it's
and like kind of how everything has shaped up. So it's nice to
giving Alex
reflect
Hunter.
on it.
You played Alex Hunter, yeah?
Of course. FIFA, that one is it's a mainstay. Yeah. It's only the last few years that Kazi has stopped me from being able, and I don't have a console anymore. But yeah, it's kind of giving that in a way, and it's also just making me reflect a bit on the blessings that have come my way to be able to be I love my job. It's hard work,
of course.
Lots of work, but these kinds of things put it all in perspective. So nice, and I appreciate your
thanks for making
reach
time
out to make it happen. Stick to your word. You know, we've met at the game.
Yeah, at the game.
You said come, so I'm glad. So I appreciate it, man.
It's been an honor. Thanks for coming. ZOZA Sportscast. We come to a close. Let's run up the numbers. We are at 24.1k subs. IG, let's reach 3,000. TikTok, we are crazy. Our target is, for this episode, for the reels, let's try reach 180k or 190. Let's say 190k for this episode. Because we're going to have the reels for this episode.
Yeah. Not bad.
190k. Cheers. It's been good, man.